Hi, this is Belinda Aussie Stitcher coming to you on the 10th of May 2021. Hi, how is everyone going? This is going to be a reasonably quick update. I'm going to show you two whips that I'm pretty sure I didn't show you. Showed the other two whips, March Fairy and Outback Storm, in my other video. And this one is just the other two whips that I worked in that month. Very little haul, and then I'll give you probably the biggest part of the thing would be my life update. So let's swing straight into it, and shock horror, I remembered my board. We'll see how we go with it all. So my whip manager, StitchNButton, Vic Gable, is picking out one whip that she would like me to work on every month. And last month was Time Traveller by Joan Elliott, and I got in 1,057 stitches. At any point that I'm working on a whip, I would like to do a minimum of 1,000 on my non-focus pieces. Haven't really done anything on Summer since I started the whole focus pieces, which is Outback Storm, Snow Queen, and Summer Queen. I forgot which queen I said. And then I really would like to finish a Joan Elliott as well, which would be Lady Rose, but I haven't worked on her either, and she's not high on the list. Time Traveller goes in my Doctor Who bag, which was made by Little Yellow House. Nell from Little Yellow House, I think that's what it was called, but she stopped making bags a long time ago. She had another baby. This is stitched on 32 count Lagana from Colour Cascades, and I think it's Fairies Wear Boots. So this is my before, and this is my after. So I finished off the umbrella, which was slightly painful to do, and then I did the bit of her dress. This whole quarter page is done, and now I'm onto that page. I am loving it. I brought this, now it was just before Jodie was getting announced as the new Doctor Who, but there was this big spiel about it being a female doctor, and I just saw it and it just reminded me of Doctor Who, Missy, if nothing else, or that time he spent in the Victorian times with Clara, those episodes. If you're not a Doctor Who fan, I'm sorry if it just went all over your head. I'm in the process of watching Doctor Who with my girls. Iona and Michaela, not so much. Sophie's into it. So we're watching Doctor Who every day, at least one episode, because we've got quite a few to get through. We're on to we're into the 10 and Rose era, but we're getting towards the end. So the next whip that I worked on, now this is last month's plus 1,000 stitches plus into this month's of Snow Queen. And this is stitched on 28 count Lagana from Colour Cascades. And so I did 1,770 stitches in April, and then I've done another 1,000. So she's completely done. Where was I up to? And I think I started, we were just in here. Maybe. So anyway, but she's done. And then the reindeer is well and truly started. So, all the gaps you can see are beads except for here, which is whisper, and I'm going to do that last. And that's it. I am working on something else. Vic's picked Strawberry Fields by Blackbird's Design, so I'm working on that now, but I don't like showing it halfway through. What have I received? I did the pole stitches, the jewellery box mystery thing, which really wasn't a mystery because I knew I was getting this. So you've got 2 charts and 2 pieces of fabric. So this is by Joan Elliott, and this is basically the reason I got it. Sorry for the shining, but I really do like that. It's only got 2 lots of beads, 1 cryonic, and the rest is DMC. So not too bad at all. Also that came with it is the Dancing Gemstones with a Pole Stitches design. This also has 2 lots of beads, 1 cryonic, and a whole lot of DMC. Now, I don't think I would necessarily do the whole design, but I can definitely see me picking elements and doing 1 or 2 for different things. Let's have a quick look. I don't know if you had a choice, but I got the black and white. It's really good. Just like, it's a really good chart to stitch from. I also got my first ever pole stitch fabrics. This one is Gem Clusters, and it still smells. Not sure if I like the smell. I can see something going on this. The right chart, but I can see something definitely going on this. I'm very particular with my fabrics, which is why I stopped doing mysteries of the months, because I want to use the fabric, not just get something. And this one is called Tanzanite. And again, I can see myself using this. Very pretty, just very smelly. Some biggest smelling fabric I've ever had, but it's not nearly strong. That's probably quite true. Again, I can see something going on this. So, unserged fabric too, which might be just the way they do things. All right, 8 minutes, done and dusted. If you're not here for the cross stitching, then thank you for coming to visit me. If you want a little bit of life update on the stuff that had happened, please stick around. I'll just have a quick... Right. So, most of you roughly know where I live. I live in WA, north of Perth. For this story, I'm going to have to be a little bit more, still not precise, because I still don't want to accidentally name where I live. But you're kind of going to, if you've been listening to the news at all, you're going to know roughly where I live. So I live near Geraldton, Kalbarri, well, within 4 hours of Kalbarri, 2 hours from Geraldton. So in that area. On April the 11th, Sunday night, going into Monday, we were hit with a cyclone. That never happens. I think the last cyclone that hit in the area was late 60s, early 70s. It is not something that happens. We're not built for cyclones. Kalbarri was hit with a Cat 3, and that poor town, which is where we holiday quite a bit, was destroyed. I think half the town has power nearly 4 weeks out. And there are still places in Kalbarri. Actually, there's still places around where I am that don't have power. We prepared for our tropical low, thinking by the time it gets to us, we're going to get a tropical low. When it hit us, we had a Cat 2. Our house is fine. Obviously, we're completely fine. We lost fences around the house. There was some damage to sheds, and the biggest damage was the fences around our farm was absolutely hit by trees, and some bits just no fence. The house was fine. Where Sophie and I own asleep, it leaked really badly around the windows, and we got some water coming under a door. One of our neighbours lost their house completely. So we walked out, completely lucky. In our town alone, 11 homes were made unlivable. A lot had roof damage. We're not built for cyclones. Up north in Karratha, Port Hedland and all them, you can't have anything, not even a shed, unless it's cyclone rated. Now, cyclones, I think, are the same as hurricanes. And while by no means is a Cat 2, or even really to a degree, a Cat 3 should be so damaging, we're not built for cyclones. We've only just got power back. We got power back Thursday, so we were nearly 4 weeks without power. We had a generator going, not all the time, but enough to keep the fridges and freezers cold enough. Our generator plugged into the house. There's a plug that you can plug in, and while that sounds grand, you still could not run a kettle, microwave, a toaster, vacuum cleaner, anything like that. Towards the last week, our boss got, he had brought and then had to wait until an electrician could come out, a massive generator that plugs into the meter box now, so it does the house and the sheds, and it runs everything. Most things. I think there's a couple of things because it uses too much power, like electric oven, which we don't have. So while we haven't been affected too badly, we know a lot of people that have been affected badly, and it's just been, the kids went back to school tired and grumpy and almost need they need another week off because they're tired and they're grumpy and they've been through a lot, because it was the last week of the school holidays. We had no power. Everything had to be planned around when the generator was going. We were supposed to go to Geraldton. They had no power for 3 days. Just everything was up in the air and it was stressful. Luckily, the younger 3 slept through it and they were fine. But places like Kalbarri and Northampton and the farming community of Una, it's going to be a long time before they recover. Our town is not even on the main power supply, it's on a generator because of the amount of power poles that were damaged. It's going to take a long time to fix. So, but we're definitely, I'm definitely in a lucky position, and I know it. That's not to say that I didn't have some days where I was very, very over it all. Just couldn't do my washing, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that, and I was just getting really grumpy. Which comes to my second thing. On Tuesday, as I was filling up the generator before I went to work, so I didn't have to do it when I get home, it had been drizzling and I didn't want water to get into where we pour the petrol in, so it would damage the generator. The generator was on a trailer. It had been raining. As I was getting off the trailer, I slipped and I grazed all my shin. No biggie. Hurt like hell, but no biggie. We have now jumped from being no biggie to it's infected, I'm on antibiotics, and I need to go to the hospital every other day for dressings. Again, not hugely, just mildly inconvenient. And more annoying than anything. It hurts and it's annoying and I just don't have time for this. That's where I am on that. Now for some positive stuff. Winter sports have started up and all 4 kids are doing sport. We have 2 netball. Iona and Michaela are doing netball. Michaela and Sophie are doing field hockey, and William is doing Auskick, which is the kids' version of Australian football rules. So my Saturdays are now spent, how our area works is that you go from town to town, different towns every weekend that you're versing. Some is local, like in your own town, and then you go as a visitor to another town. And everything's at that oval. So the netball courts, the hockey field and the football field, and everything's at different times so that the kids can do the sport and the parents can do the sport. Which means that from about 10:30 on a Saturday, I'm at sport and I don't leave again until 4:30, which is fine. We also then got football training, netball training and hockey training. Sophie and Iona are practicing to go to the state championships with their school for the brass band state championships, which is really exciting. Everything got cancelled last year, so they're pretty happy that they get to do that. Iona and Sophie went to the school ball. Now, our school is tiny. So from year 7 to year 12, you're invited to go to the school ball. There's just there's supposed to be a dress code. Not every kid abides by it. But up until year 10, it's supposed to be like a prom dress where it goes down to your knees and not a full dress. And obviously age appropriate. So that was pretty exciting. That looks so pretty. What else has happened? Oh, I'm no longer COVID cleaning for the school. I've now have Mondays mostly off unless I get called into the supermarket. I do canteen at the school 2 days a week and I work at the supermarket 2 days a week. And the supermarket one's really flexible. So if something happens on those days and something's happening with the kids, I can let the boss know and he's really happy that I only work a shorter period of time or I start later or I just have the day off. I mean, I'm casual, so I can have some say, but he's really quite supportive of that as well, as long as you give him notice. And that's it. 8 minutes worth of stitching, 11 minutes of life update. I'm sorry, guys, it's probably not what you came here to see. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because that's an update of what everything is. We're all fine. And the town is doing really well considering, and as much as small country towns can be really hard with the gossiping and just that whole social divide, it can happen. Our town really came together and helped each other out. If you needed a house, people found you one. If you needed something, they helped you out. They really banded together and made sure you were okay, which is awesome. We had someone that was driving around to all the farms, checking in on every farmer, making sure that they were okay. We also had in that for about 2 weeks, because of the no power and cyclone, our communication tower was knocked out. So we had no way of ringing, or unless you had satellite internet, which we did, no way of using our phones at all. And it wasn't just here, like our town, all up through Geraldton, Carberry, they got theirs back quicker, but it took 2 weeks for ours, because damaging and prioritising the more populated towns. So, that's also what happened. Within 24 hours of having the cyclone, while we had the generator going, we all thought it'd be really great to run smack bang into a door frame and cut just in here. No power, no way to communicate. Looking at him going, pretty sure you need to see a doctor. And no way of even, we're sort of code red at this stage. Luckily, Jeff had come home, my husband, and we thought of our neighbour who's a nurse, and the way to get to their house was actually clear, and she managed to fix it all up. But I'm just looking at him going, I'm pretty sure I said no hospital trips. Like, I can't do it, so don't do anything. Yeah, I put some stuff up on Instagram and my Facebook page, and it's mainly so that in a year's time I can laugh about this, because we're going to need to laugh about it at some point. And we got off quite mightily, and I'm aware of that. But it was still hard work and stressful and annoying and a whole bunch of other things. Anyway, absolutely going to stop whining now. I hope everyone has a really great stitchy day, or a great family day, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just have a great day. And hopefully I'll be back in a month with more than 2 whips to show you. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress. I think I've done something like 7,000 stitches plus on Snow Queen this year, and that blows my mind. I am so happy with my progress on her. So anyway, I will go quickly if you're still around, still listening to me yabba. I still want to work on Outback Storm. I really want to get to Summer Queen. I would like to get back to Snow Queen for another 1,000 stitches, and if by any chance I've got time after all of that, I'll whack in another whip that I haven't stitched on. I'm really not doing challenges. I'm just doing some stuff in semi-sewn, which allows me to work on what I want. Because at that stage, this is what I want to do. I want to work on what I want, when I want, and not feel tied to anything. Yeah, that's it. I'm absolutely going now. Thank you everyone for your scribing, your awesome comments, and just being awesome. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.